Hello everybody, how you doing? This is Fadali and this video is about the pseudo elements. A CSS pseudo element is used to style the specified part of the element. Comes here between the pseudo classes and the element. And pseudo classes we used to style the state of the elements, but in a pseudo element we specify the parts of the element. So that's the difference between pseudo element and the pseudo classes. There is also a slight difference in the syntax of the pseudo element. In pseudo classes we were using a single colon, but in pseudo element we will be using a double colon. Okay, that is the difference between the structure. So in this video we're gonna learn about the first line pseudo element, the first letter, and we're gonna learn about how can we combine the pseudo element with the CSS class, how can we use the multiple pseudo elements, and we are also gonna learn about the before after marker selection pseudo elements. Alright, so let's just go to the editor and see how can we use it. So let's just go to the VS Code. Okay, so I have already written the basic structure of the HTML document and some text here, and I also be using the list here, unordered and the order list, but I have just commented out for now because I will use it later. So here we have some text, a paragraph. For using the pseudo element, first you have to declare the selector element. Okay, after that you have to use the two colons, and after that we're gonna use here the first letter. Okay, so this is how you style the specific part of the element by using the pseudo element. So this is how we do it. Okay, what does this code mean? That it simply means that I just want to style the first letter of my paragraph. If I use the two different paragraph, for example, if I just want to use the one more paragraph here, it will style the first letter of each paragraph. Okay, so this is how the first letter pseudo element work. And now we're gonna learn about I have to comment it for now. Now we're gonna go for the first line, and in first line let's just run this and see. This is how it works, and this is how I just style the first line of my paragraph by using the pseudo element, first line pseudo element. So this is how you do it. Well, now we're gonna learn about how can we use the multiple. It is really simple. You just have to use both of these pseudo elements. Okay, now let me just run this, and this is how it works. Alright, so this is how you use the multiple pseudo elements if you want to use it. Okay, now we have to combine the pseudo element with the CSS class. That is kind of really simple. Okay, I want to create two different styles. So let me just copy the code here, paste it here again. Alright, now so let me just delete this for now. Okay, so as we know how we create the CSS class, we use the name. Okay, style1. Okay, so I've just written the name of the class. Okay, now I just want to style a specific element of the style1 class. That would be the paragraph element, so I will choose the paragraph. Okay, so this is how create the class and also specify the specific element. And to use the pseudo element, you have to do the same thing, two colons. Okay, go for the first letter. Alright, so this is how it works, and same goes for the first line as well. So I just have to use it here, first line 1. Okay, I just have to create one more class here, so it would be style2 and it would be style2. Okay, times. Okay, so we have used a different font family and the color would be different here. It will be bold as well as italic. So we have created the two different classes for the two different styling. And one more thing here, that in this process we just have learned about how do we combine the CSS classes with the pseudo elements. Alright, so let me just use these classes here. I have to copy this and paste it here. It would be fine. This would use class style2 and this would use class style1. Both of these classes have the different styling, so let me just run this. Let me just add some variant here. Okay, now you can see here that we have learned to combine the CSS class with the pseudo element, and we have created the two different classes for creating the two different styles for the two different paragraphs. Okay, so this is how we combine the CSS classes with the pseudo elements. Let me just delete this for now because we have to use the other pseudo elements. That would be the before after marker, and the last one is selection pseudo element, so we have to create kind of a space for them. Okay, so we're gonna start with the before pseudo element. I just want to go with the h1 Okay, so what will before pseudo element do? It will put some content that you will provide in the styling before the heading. Okay, so let me just give it a value here, content. I would like to add some text here. Alright, so now whenever you're gonna use the heading, this will always come before your content. So let me just use the heading for now and my heading. Okay, now you would see that this will always come before the heading. Okay, so if I use it again, now you can see here it is coming before the content of my heading. Okay, and same goes for the after. You would use the after pseudo element and you're gonna write. Okay, so let me just save it again. Now you can see this is how the before and after pseudo element work. Now we have to use the marker. Okay, sometimes you just don't want to specify the specific element, so you just simply can use the double colon. Now I just want to use the marker property and I want to give it some styling here. Okay, so this will style all the marker part of any element which comes up with the markers. And we know that the lists do come up with the markers, so we're gonna use the list here. So I just want to use the list here and I have to use it here. Now you would see that the list always come up with the marker and the markup will come up with this styling. Alright, so let me just run this. Okay, I have to edit a color here, not the background color. Now you can see that it is kind of working. Alright, this is how we can style the marker part of the list element. Okay, in last we have the one more pseudo element, so we're gonna just simply write it quickly. It would be selection and I have to give it a color. How would this selection work? Okay, so this selection pseudo element will work when you try to select some text and it will kind of give you this effect. Okay, so if I just want to use another color, now it would use the pink color for your text and this pale color for your background when you want to select the text. Okay, so this is how the selection pseudo element works, and this is all for this video. If you really find this useful, hit the like button and subscribe the channel, and bye bye.